Hi everybody, how y'all doing? Okay, you asked wonderful questions and there's no way that I could type as quickly as I wanted to, so yeah, I'm not going to put pressure on my fingers, I'm just going to answer your questions. Okay, so the first thing you say is, thanks for replying to my questions, of course, thank you for asking. I don't understand how you can identify yourself to a religion and not accept all the precepts of that religion. I mean, that you identify yourself as a Christian, right? Yet you don't believe in hell. And that the only way to heaven is through Lord Jesus. These are central to the Christian faith as I understand it. Not judging you, it's just something I don't get. You left the Baha'i faith because you didn't agree with some things that you felt were wrong. Okay. The first part is, well, I'm learning about what that is as far as what the religion is and what I agree with or believe. And as far as, yeah, do I understand myself as Christian? Yes, I do. But I don't believe in hell. No, I never have. And the kind of Christianity that I'm studying actually doesn't believe in hell either, Eastern Orthodox. So to the Christian faith, as I understand it, well, maybe you've just never studied Eastern Orthodox, so, and I hadn't known of it either, so there you go. Not judging you, it's just something you get. Oh, that I left the Baha'i faith. Yeah, isn't it funny that I had to leave the Baha'i faith to understand who Jesus was? Yeah. As far as that goes, though, you see, the things that I felt that were wrong, as you put it, well, what ended up happening was when I studied about that one particular manifestation, yeah, I could no longer say that he was. So that brought suspect to, you know, Baha'u'llah's claims. And even though I believed really deeply in a lot of what he talked about, what I realized is that those were Eastern Orthodox principles and that's what I was actually resonating towards, and that was why I liked it. It wasn't all the other trappings of it. They provided a diversion, but really the thing that was actually making me happy was those. Um, and then I thought, well, I'll answer this part later. Okay. So why not just be a spiritual person and worship in your own way? Okay, that's a beautiful question. Well, that's what I thought I was going to be doing, and I was incredibly mistaken. What I mean by that is that there was a church that I had since 2010 been driving past and knowing that I wanted to go in there, which was a very strange thought and feeling. I felt like, you know, my heart was being pulled like a magnet towards it. And I even heard in my heart, in my mind once, that my heart said, I want to go there. And it was very confusing to me because I was like, why would I go there? I'm a Baha'i. Why would I go to a church? Because I had never, ever felt comfortable in any church situation ever before. I avoided them at all cost. But there were a whole lot of things that happened in succession that let me know that not believing in hell and original sin and all these other things that had always been so distasteful to me, well, that was actually their belief system set. So it took a lot of talking to me by one particular individual who just said, go, you know, why don't you just go and see what it's like? And from the minute that I was in there, I knew I was home, and I felt how I had always wanted to feel in every other variety of circumstance of religious expression of anything, that was what I wanted to feel, was what I felt there. What I identified was what I identified as there. And sorry to talk about my dreams again, but the dreams that I have of spiritual things, that's what it feels like, okay? And even more strangely, when I look up inside the center portion of it, it's this raised dome, and it reminds me, of course, of the Temple in Wilmette, But when I look up now, I don't see the greatest name, right? It's all just clear and or white and these wonderful windows that go around it. And I cannot express to you how peaceful and comforting that is to see that white light and all that in there. And I noticed it so much, especially the first time. I remember looking up and just, yeah. And now I've been going as consistently as I can, and I sing in their choir, and I'm really happy about it. So I'm glad because I feel like I came home. Okay, concerning the Bab, you said, I think his assertion of all these signs being manifest in him were not simply words. I'll just go on to the next part. I might talk about that in a minute. I can say I'm the most qualified person for a certain job at an interview, and the person hiring may believe it or not, but it's through my actions and the way I work that the truth of my statement can be made clear. Okay. I think a lot of what's being seen is kind of akin to circumstantial evidence, as it would be thought of in like a legal sense. In a scientific sense, you know how the same observed material can be interpreted and reinterpreted to create a whole new study, but whatever conclusion is drawn can be different than the original researcher because they have a different hypothesis sometimes that they're trying to prove, and because they look at it from a different angle, it doesn't have the same outcome from the same studies, okay? And I think that's quite similar to what's happening. Yes, all these things were seen, but what the conclusion that's being come to is I come to a different one. So that's what I would say about that. And and it's weird for me to say that about the Bab in particular, because I love the prayers of the Bab very much. I used to sing a couple of them. I used to, and I still, July 9th, I will always, always love that story of the martyrdom. That's just, that's fascinating, but I think parts of it I liked because it reminded me of like Hindu avatar kind of stuff. But now when I look at it in light of something else, it's completely different to me. I don't see it as of proof. I think there's something else going on. Okay, so and likewise through the actions and the writings of the Bab that his claim made manifest. Thanks again for your reply. Peace. Awesome, you're very sweet. And kind to say that. As far as the writings of the Bab, you know what creeps me out though? Like the censorship stuff. And there are some really harsh, yeah, laws. I've also read some things, I don't know, I mean, it depends on how much you've read, like the Dawn Breakers and stuff. But there are some interesting things. I mean, why was it that they never met? And then there are always these weird things about, you know, there were certain people who stayed just with the Bab and did not believe Baha'u'llah was, you know, the next one to carry on. And there are some loose ends. Not everything is tied up so succinctly that people think everything happened in this clear-cut fashion. And I'm not saying that you do, but I think, you know, like, I don't mind reading Nabil's narrative. I don't mind even Pilgrim's Notes, you know, but at the same time, they fall flat in my mind and my heart when I think about Christ. And that's a first for me. That's never been that way. I never thought I would say anything close to that. That would be the most confusing thing to hear come out of my mouth from me. Like, let's just say it was 5 years ago and I were to somehow, you know, pop into the future and see me making this video and hear me say those words, I'd be agog. I'd be, what did she just say? That's not me. That's not me. Maybe I had a personality transplant, but that chick's not me. So it's the weirdest thing to me, but that's how that all came out, fleshed out, came to be. Um, and yeah, so thanks so much, and hope to keep in touch and keep asking questions because you ask awesome questions. Peace.